I'm walking right on the edge of the lake here. Spirit source part of us, our higher self, sees us as perfect just the way we are. And the thing that holds me back the most is when I'm not seeing myself like that, when I'm being critical of myself for falling out of my tree momentarily or for moving out of that loving space. And then, of course, that self-criticism is what holds us out of that naturally loving state that exists in all of us. All of us want to feel that clarity. We want to feel that sense of freedom. We want to feel that acceptance for being who we are. So I'm just out here in the morning sun, just bringing myself back to that place where I accept me, even though I've fallen from grace recently, even though let's be honest with this, even though I've actually physically sort of pulled back a little bit from my relationship, and without even putting any words to that, I know really clearly that I've pulled back, and I made a judgment on myself that that wasn't a good thing or a right thing to do. And what I found happening out of that judgment was it kept me away for longer. It kept me away from those naturally loving feelings that I have. It kept me away from the beautiful, loving relationship space that Stephen and I have created for ourselves. So it's that self-criticism that always keeps me away. It's got nothing to do with how he might see me or what he might be saying or what he might be doing. It has always to do with our own self-criticism, our own self-defeating attitudes that we might be less than in some sort of expression of ourselves. You know, it doesn't matter if we're getting angry or expressing things that we really don't want to be expressing in the moment. God still sees us as perfect just as we are, and for us to see ourselves as anything less than perfect, no matter what's coming out our mouths, no matter what behaviour is being exhibited, it doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't sort of serve us to get back to that place as quickly as possible. I don't see any particular emotion as being perfect or as being my ideal emotion. I want to be able to express all my emotions wherever they're coming from, and be okay with them. And like children do, let them move through quickly. Let them move through effortlessly without making somebody wrong. Children in their natural state, just allow that energy to move through. So in this process with me today, I'm allowing my own energy to move through in its own way, in its own time, and just coming back to that state, which is my natural state, that state of loving alignment. So I'm not at any stage going to pretend that I'm perfect. I think the perfection of life is to accept ourselves however we're moving through and to be okay with it, no matter what we're expressing. I know that I'm never alone because I've got such a strong connection to this part of spirit. What I really like knowing is that any negative emotion is just a disconnect between me and what God knows me to be. So the negative emotion, I know, isn't that there's something wrong with somebody else, isn't that I've done something wrong, it isn't that I've attracted something wrong, it isn't that there's some wrong situation occurring in me or in the world or around me or anywhere else. That negative emotion is just an indication that I'm just a bit skew of where Source sees this. So I'm here today just wanting to connect those thoughts to how Source sees this and to find that feeling place again, that feeling of being in love with life, that feeling of total clarity, that feeling of a sense of well-being. So really what I'm calling in is my sense of knowing that all is well. And really, you know, when you look at a sunrise like this, it's very easy to get a sense of all is well.